You're going to write one or two or three technical documents in your time in the IB and develop really important skills doing it. That is, putting equations in, putting good tables in, and putting diagrams into a Word document. And that is a life skill. So let's show you how to do it. First of all, equations is dead easy. You go to Insert, and you can see equation there. But to speed up, what we try and do is don't use the mouse or the touchscreen, just the keyboard. So to put an equation in, you hold Alt down and press equals. Equals being equation. Now you can see this toolbar up here. You can get anything from this toolbar. But again, the vast majority of the things you need are just simply typed. So 2 to the power x. Now notice the x there is a really nice x. But look what happens when I press space. It just does it automatically. I can go back in there and say, oh no, I meant x cubed minus 3. That's equal to. And so anytime you want something, you say to yourself, do I know the keyboard shortcut? So 2 divided by 3, well, that divided by is a shortcut. Right, it's a lovely fraction. Again, I can go back in if I want to. Like that. So that's 2. Here's another one. Let's say plus x, and then I want to put a subscript on. So that's the underscore. And you will quickly, very quickly, be able to type as quickly as you can write maths. And also end up with such beautiful maths compared to the torturous doing it any other way. For example, if I go out here and type x, get this horrendous thing. Even if I put that into italics, it's horrible. Compare it to the proper x of maths. So that's really nice. We have a couple of slightly more advanced things, and that is entirely based around this key here. That is the /. Find it on your keyboard. And we can put a whole variety of things, like any Greek letter. I'm going to write this in lowercase, pi, or sigma. Or I can go into capital letters. Do you know what a capital delta looks like? So that's just capital D. It's a triangle. And so we've got all kinds of stuff. I could go back in and say I meant pi squared. So nice. So there are the most common ones, and these ones are worth learning. If you need something more complicated than that, like an integral, then click on the relevant thing and you can find almost anything. So that's nice. So I'm going to put a diagram in here. Here's my extended essay. You're very likely to have a diagram or a chart of some description. I'm going to just take that to the top of a page, Control Enter. So I'm at the top of the page. I want my diagram to be in there. Now, the advanced way to do a diagram is you say Insert, and we're going to put some shapes on. So there's the Shapes menu. This is so important that I have right-clicked on it and added it to my Quick Access toolbar, because I just use it so often, so I don't have to go Insert. I just click on that. Now, the best thing to do, if you know you're going to do something fairly complicated, is put a drawing canvas in. Now, anything I draw on here will stick together. It won't get interfered with if we move stuff around. It'll be a single unit. So in this menu is all kinds of things. I can put some axes in. Now, if I do that, I'll get a slightly wobbly line. If I hold Shift, it makes it dead horizontal. I can change the color and all that, obviously. I'm just going to put some axes in. And just to show you a variety of things, this one here is a curve. I'm just going to go click, 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 click. Double click at the end, really nice. I can change this. If I right click on it, I can edit the points. So I actually meant that one to be there, and I want that angle to be, crazier. So you can do some wonderful diagrams like this really quite easily. And all of this is being held together by the canvas, remember. Now, very often I want to refer to something, so I'll click on one of these call outs. I like that one. You see this point here? This is movable. I'm going to say that point there. I don't like this dark background, so I'll make it like that. That's a max. That's a maximum. So get it just the way I want it. Move it around. I can change the colors. Get really nicely labeled diagrams. You sometimes want a much simpler diagram. I just want to put a Y there. So I go like this. This is a text box. I'm just going to put a Y there. Y. Now I hope you're saying, oh my God, that's ugly. That's a math symbol, that Y. So I should have said Alt equals Y. Much nicer Y. Now this is pretty ugly, this box here. But if I right click, I don't have to have an outline on that box. Let's have no outline. I don't have to fill it. Let's have no fill. That means I can move it anywhere. I can put it here. So high standards. Diagrams are very doable. I can also annotate a picture. So I'm going to take something off the internet and then annotate it. So first of all, I'm going to go here and say, I'm going to put a drawing canvas down here because I want my picture to be held together with the annotation. So I've pasted in my picture, but not directly into the document, into the drawing canvas. And it means now I can annotate it again. That one is such a useful one. You just generally get it approximately right. Now that is cheese. Now this time the blue actually looks okay. And I like, just a bit of a perfectionist. Try and get that just right. Really nicely annotate diagrams, no tackiness. And the drawing canvas, you can't see it, but if I start fiddling around with this, then it sticks together. So that's enough for this video. Cheers.